Coach, it'd be remiss of me if I didn't ask you your thoughts on a particular fighter. I just think, considering what happened a few weeks ago, obviously Tom Aspinall is the interim heavyweight champion at the moment, and I think his performance, I think, solidified kind of the new breed of heavyweights that are coming through, the guys that are much younger and the guys that'll be there for the next 10 or so years. I think, Tom's obviously been pretty vocal about a fight with Jon and wanting that fight for obvious reasons. I mean, considering who Jon is as the greatest of all time, everyone's going to want that fight. I guess for you as being Jon's coach and, striking coach, my question is, what are your thoughts on Tom as a fighter and as a fan of the sport? Is that something that you would ever like to see, Tom and Jon?
As a coach, I see a lot of greatness in Tom Aspinall. Very good footwork, good defense, good fundamentals, and like you said, he brings a lot of attributes to heavyweight that help represent that new generation. The speed, the athleticism, the well-roundedness in his game. Tom's a great young fighter, and of course, any young fighter coming up wants to make a statement, especially against legends. And Jon had tweeted the other night that Tom hasn't faced any legends in this game. He doesn't have that on his resume. It's not part of his accolades. Whereas Jon was able, starting off his career, to go up against iconic legends like Shogun, like Rampage, like Rashad Evans, like Glover Teixeira, so many, to really solidify his status as a champion. So any hungry young fighter, they want to test themselves against the very best. I coach Aaron Pico. He wants to fight Pitbull so bad, and I hope that lines up. He wants to fight the Volkanovskis of the world and the Max Holloways. That's in every young aspiring champion. So, of course, Aspinall wants to prove. Which fighter wouldn't want to prove themselves against the greatest of all time? And you talked about the next generation of heavyweights. I would put Ciryl Gane in that generation. All the hype was Ciryl leading up to fight Jon. Everybody said the same thing, like, hey, he switches stances, he's fast, he's athletic, he's 145er, he has all these things. And then Jon Jones did what Jon Jones does. The time to fight Tom, I'm sure will come. I'm sure it will come, but we're going to set out to accomplish the goal that we've set out for, and that's Jon versus Stipe. And whether Tom feels like it's right or fair, or it's what all the fans want. Like, I think Anthony said the other day, like, Jon Jones can do whatever the hell Jon Jones wants to do. And that's where I'm at. Like, I read a thing the other day talking about the UFC fighters that have been stripped of their belts and why. And there weren't many in there for inactivity. And unfortunately, we have this injury and it's on the timeline, but like, the UFC is not going to strip Jon Jones as heavyweight champion. He's the GOAT.
For sure.
And people could be upset about that. Obviously, they want a heavyweight division and a champion with lots of exciting fights, as do we. But the time will come.